Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is MotorMaster Monday, and we're back for more action here on NASCAR Heat 3. And the 2019 NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series playoffs have begun. Round 1. The round of 16 has begun, and they will begin at one of the toughest courses on the NASCAR schedule, and also here on the NOSSCAR schedule, and that being Darlington Raceway, the Lady in Black. And as you can see, the green flag is in the air. There's lots at stake here tonight. A win gets you in to the next round of the playoffs. And Jade Burr, the 28 machine, he's a playoff driver, started on the pole. There he is running in the lead, doing what he needs to do to advance to the next round of the playoffs. Now, then again, it wasn't a dire need for him to get a win, as he is the second seed in the playoffs coming in, and now we got a lead change. The 86 makes a move on the inside, going down the front straightaway. That is Chase Dunn returning to the NOSSCAR scene for the first time in a long time, running in second. My mistake, it is not. We're gonna have to get back to you about that. Do know that Jade Burr is still the leader, trying to hold off whoever's driving the 86 machine. There are two 86 cars on the racetrack. Getting a report, Chase Dunn has front end damage, and he is now one lap down. That's Anthony Trippi in the 22, running in second place. There he is. He's a playoff driver with 2 wins. Punch his ticket into the next round. He's a little bit closer to that round of 12 bubble than Jade Burr is, so he would really like to get around the 28 and get this win. It's a 4-car battle for the lead here at Darlington Raceway. We're in stage 1. Nathan Scott in the 36, he's a part-time driver, not in the playoffs, but he's driving like he should be, running there in 4th. There he is. Picked up 2 wins last Monday. 3 races in total were hosted. Mid-Ohio was won by Dakota Bro. Bristol and Road America were won both by this man, Nathan Scott. Speaking of Dakota Bro, there he is, just a little bit outside of the top 5. This is a battle for the 6th position with Alex Tesdall, aka Shadow, his nickname. Drivers in the playoffs. Ford versus Chevy. A little bit of contact with the outside wall for Dakota Bro in the 00. Dakota comes in as the number 1 seeded driver in the standings, has 1 playoff point more than Jade Burr, but if Jade Burr keeps running the way he is, he might be able to take over that. There is your pole sitter leading the way at Darlington Raceway. Coming up on a couple of cars to put them 1 lap down, but then after that he's got quite a bit of open space. Try to get away from these drivers right behind them. And we've documented all season long that the draft is very powerful here on NASCAR Heat 3. As long as they can stay within striking distance of Jade Burr in the 28, they should be able to stay in the draft and not let him get away, especially if Jade bounces off the wall like he did there. He carried a bit of extra speed into that corner because of the draft he got from the lap machine. Now he's coming up on Dave Marks Jr., who is the 15th seeded playoff driver out of the 16. There was contact made. Dave got loose and went down onto the apron. I'm not sure what happened there, but Jay Burr, when he ran up on him, just got his left front fender into the right rear quarter panel of Dave and got him out of shape. And after all that slicing and dicing through those couple of lapped cars, everything remains the same. The top four still battling for the lead here at Darlington Raceway. Jade Burr really gets through turns 1 and 2 a whole lot better, it seems, than anybody else, and is able to gap himself from these other guys. There's a bit of contact there for the 3rd position. Nathan Scott takes it from the 86 machine. Going to have to get back to you about who's driving it. There are 2 86 cars on the racetrack. Checking in on the points leader, he's getting around Kenny Adair, who's also a playoff driver. Kenny finds himself 1 lap down right now. Might have been involved in one of those on-track incidents towards the beginning of stage 1. Now Dakota working on catching a couple of cars in front of him. One of them will be for position Patrick Hazlitt in the number 20 car. Also a playoff driver running in the 5th position. See if we can find him real quick. I found everybody except for him. Ah, there's Patrick. Now we're going to have a battle for the 5th position, actually, between these 2 playoff drivers. Patrick a lot closer to the cut line than Dakota Bros, so Dakota might approach him a little bit more calm, with a bit more patience, knowing that he's in a bit more of a comfortable position than Patrick. Keep in mind, it's early in this one. Working stage 1 here at Darlington Raceway. The leaders are yet to come to pit road. Now Nathan Scott in the 36 has slowly but surely worked his way into the 2nd position, and only a few car lengths behind Jay Burr, so he's in the draft with him. And we didn't see what happened, but Anthony Tribby is no longer with the front 3. In fact, he has dropped to the 4th position now. Battle for the lead. They are side by side here at Darlington Raceway, going down the back straightaway, heading towards turn 3. Nathan Scott trying to take the lead from Jade Burr, part-timer versus championship contender. Oh, some contact was made between Nathan Scott and Jade Burr. Scott got a little bit tight and drifted up into the side of Jade. Now going into turn 1, it's going to get a little bit interesting. Jade might give him a bump, he might not. He decides to not. Instead, he gets a really good run to the inside going into turn 3 this time. And it's going to be, ooh, and looked like Jade overdrove the corner there, and I don't know quite what happened there. The camera angle changed right at a very opportune time for us to miss what happened there, but Jade Burr, nevertheless, is the new leader. And this battling for the lead has allowed Anthony Tribby to close in. He's still in 4th behind the 86 machine, who we still remain anonymous, so we don't know who's running in 3rd at this point. There are 2 86 cars on the racetrack. We're getting a report that it is Dash and the number 86 machine that's running in third. So it's Jade Burr, Nathan Scott, Dash, and Anthony Trippi, your top five. They're coming up on a playoff driver to put him one lap down, and that is Info. And the number 88, and I can't believe we're going to see him go a lap down. He must have been involved in a couple of incidents or something. Very uncharacteristic of him to see him going a lap down, especially a race with such magnitude like this. We're in the playoffs. He comes in as the number 5 seed driver, and whoa, we just saw Chase Dunn and the other number 86 machine go up and make hard contact with the wall. Spins to the inside there, and I think everybody avoided him. I think he knew that the leaders were coming, so he tried to get out of their way. Jade still holding on to the lead. Dash is looking for second from Nathan Scott, and he takes it, and that's heading into turn 1. And that was right at the very end of stage 1, ladies and gentlemen. Jade Burr wins stage 1. He captured the pole, started out front, led the most laps there in stage 1, and held on for the very valuable playoff point. He's now tied for most playoff points with Dakota Bro in the 00 at 29. Nathan Scott finishes, Dash rather, finishes second. Nathan Scott in third. Anthony Trippi in fourth, and Dakota Bro in the 00 finishes in fifth to get stage points. There he is. Haven't talked at all about Nick Francesco yet. You'd see the front end damage to his race car, but he's inside the top 10 along with Jason Armstrong. Both of those drivers got caught up in an incident, but they stayed on the lead lap. Stayed in the top 10 as well, and now they have an opportunity to repair those race cars and get them going the speeds that they want to. Stage 2 is underway here at Darlington Raceway. The lady in black has been nice so far. Let's see how nice she is in stage 2. Wasn't nice to Jade Burr. He found the outside wall, loses the lead to Dash, and Anthony Trippi takes second. And there's a free-for-all wreck behind them. Dakota Bro was involved. Oh, and there's more back there. Don Francesco again involved. Joshua Colm Diaz, Keith Ayers, BJ Thomas, Jason Armstrong. All playoff drivers that were involved in that huge wreck there on the back straightaway. Nathan Scott got out of control there, had to chase it down the racetrack. He lost 2 positions because of that. There he is. So out front we have Dash, and the number 86 machine, part-time driver here in the NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series. Began his NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series career late in the season, so was not eligible for the playoffs, but he's certainly capable of being eligible, that's for sure, and he's proving that not only tonight by leading laps here at Darlington Raceway, but within recent weeks. Not only here in the MotorMaster Series, but the NOSSCAR Truck Series as well. Anthony Trippi runs in second. This is a good spot for him. He's been in second a few times in this race. Can't seem to get up to the lead. Was battling with Jade Burr and Nathan Scott earlier. He's now clear of traffic, and he's working on gaining a little bit more ground on the leader, and he might be able to get some draft and reel him in. But Dash in the 86 is laying down some quick lap times right now. Anthony's not in a dire need for a significant amount of points or a win to advance to the round of 12, but it would certainly be nice. Obviously, all these playoff drivers looking to get every point and playoff point that they can, no matter where they are in the playoff standings. So it's Dash, Anthony Trippi, Nathan Scott, Jade Burr, and Patrick Hazlitt, your top 5. It is the top 5 in the stages that receive the stage points. Again, the stage winner receives a playoff point. It's MotorMaster Monday. We're glad you're with us, everybody. It's the very first race of the NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series playoffs here in 2019. 16 playoff drivers, 10 races, and 1 championship. It begins at one of the toughest tracks on the circuit, on the schedule, and that is Darlington Raceway. Every 3 races, 4 drivers are eliminated. So it's basically a Cup Series playoff format, but for the Xfinity cars. We call it the NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series, hosted on NASCAR Heat 3. It's been a blast to bring you coverage and commentary every Monday, or close to every Monday, all season long. Nathan Scott makes a very nice move there to the bottom of Anthony Trippi, and he takes the 2nd position away, put the 36 Can-Am Chevy up into the 2nd position. Anthony Trippi close in tow in 3rd. So that's actually 2 non-playoff drivers leading the way, with Anthony Trippi and Jade Burr and Patrick Hazlitt, the top 3 drivers amongst the playoff drivers, running 3rd, 4th, and 5th. There's Dakota Bro inside the top 10 and within striking distance still of getting a good finish, perhaps the win here at Darlington Raceway. He's got info in the 88 behind him, and Michael Birch in the 38 machine behind them, and those are all playoff drivers, and they're all running inside the top 10 at this time. And one thing I would like to mention, nobody has really ultimately dominated this season in the NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series. The wins have been spread very evenly between the drivers. Dakota Bro with 5 wins, Jade Burr with 2 wins, Nick Don Francesco with 3 wins, Keith Ayers with 1 win, Noah Underwood with 3 wins, Anthony Trippi with 2 wins, Michael Birch, Patrick Hazlitt, they have a win each. drivers outside of the playoffs with wins include Angelo and Nathan Scott. 2 wins for Angelo, 3 wins for Nathan Scott. Nobody has ultimately dominated this season, and there was about a group of 8 to 11 drivers that fans on social media and the drivers in the garage area were really pointing at to win this championship. So it's anybody's game at this point. Back up front, there is your race leader, Dash in the 86, putting BJ Thomas a lap down, as well as Joshua Colm-Diaz in the 90, and Keith Ayers in the 16. They're actually all battling for the first car 1 lap down spot, free pass position. And as you can see, all 3 of them do have a significant amount of damage. They were all involved in that big wreck at the beginning of stage 2 on the back straightaway. Like Dash almost got cut off a little bit there by Dave Marks Jr. I don't think it was intentional, but to play it safe, Dash lifted off the throttle. That allowed the 99 to get back by him. That puts Keith Ayers in the free pass position right now. But he's got Joshua Colm-Diaz right behind him. Keep in mind, these are all playoff drivers. Dave Marks Jr. just in front of them in the 1, BJ Thomas in the 99, Keith Ayers in the 16, Joshua Colm-Diaz in the 90, all playoff drivers, and Dave got out of control there, came back up on the racetrack. Keith had nowhere to go, ran into the back of him a little bit. Now Dave's up in the high line, and they might be able to clear him, and it looks like they will. A lot of damage to Nathan Scott. I didn't see what happened, but thankfully for him, it is the end of stage number 2. Stage 2 win goes to Dash in the 86 machine, Anthony Trippi in 2nd in the 22, Nathan Scott in the 36 car in 3rd. Jade Burr in 4th, and we'll have to check who was 5th, and it's the top 5 who get the stage points. This is the final opportunity for these drivers to make adjustments, repair any damage on pit road. While under caution anyways, they are going to have to make at least 1 or 2 pit stops here in the final stage. Michael Burge with some pit strategy, maybe not. Miscommunication with the crew chief. He did not go to pit road when he should have. Green flag is in the air. Burge lets everybody go, and that's a big mistake on for a playoff driver. That's a heartbreaker. Around goes Nathan Scott. He caught the apron, and a whole bunch of drivers got into it. It wasn't his fault, and we've seen it happen before. It happens, and it's easy to do, especially at Darlington. Keith Ayers just caught the apron, and he just barely saved it somehow. He's able to come back up on the track there. The key point in the race to have good track position is for the beginning of the final stage, and that's what Anthony Trippi has right now. The 22 car leading the race. Looking really strong. See if we can find him. There he is. got a couple of car lengths in between himself in the battle for second, and they're side by side behind him. That's only going to help him, I think. Jade Burr trying to find a way around Dash, the number 86 machine. Anthony Trippi, Dash, Jade Burr, and Nick Francesco, the top four, and we had another car in there with us. That was Patrick Hazlitt, but he found the apron coming out of turn 2 and dropped him back to the 5th position. Definitely not running up here in the draft with the front 4. That's a tough break for Nathan Scott. He had a chance to win this race. He was one of the fastest cars on the track, and now he's in a hornet's nest back here. He just made contact with Dave Marks Jr. Dave went down and bumped the inside wall. They had an altercation earlier in this race as well. Oh, and Michael Birch was spun on the inside area of the racetrack, and he was trying to get it fired up again, and Dash in the 86 machine had nowhere to go. Pounded into the back of the 38 machine, and he's got a whole bunch of front end damage now. Dash does. He lost second position to Nick Francesco, and he might lose third here to Jade Burr. Now, in order to stay on the correct fuel strategy here, the correct pit strategy, he's going to have to stay out there and run a few laps until he's in his fuel window, and that's definitely something you don't ever want to do as an online driver. So it's Anthony Trippi, Nick Francesco, Jade Burr, the top 3. It's a Ford parade up front. Dash comes down pit road to fix that damage. It's always heartbreaking having to drive a car that's not up to full speed out there. You know you're losing time and just trying to wait until you're in your window. Shadow got the apron there, the 2 car. Made a nice save, lost a couple of spots out of it, but he's still rolling. Trying to find a way around the 23. 3 wide for the lead. Don Francesco just put the 22 into the fence, and he got the lead out of it. That was a pretty aggressive move, and we have a new race leader. It's the 98 machine. He hasn't won in a while. Maybe that's what's going on here. Hungry for a win, and it would be at a very special and an important time. Trying to advance to the next round of the playoffs. Anthony's not giving up yet. He's got a run coming up to the outside. He was looking anyways. Now he's looking to the bottom. This is through 3 and 4. Oh, Don Francesco found the wall. It's a very narrow, line-sensitive racetrack, Darlington Raceway. And Nick just found that out. Oh, and Dave got loose just in front of the leaders. That was nearly catastrophic. A couple of cars already making pit stops. Dakota Bro was one of them. Just coming back on the racetrack. Took two completely different lines going down pit road, two completely different ways to enter the pits, but here they come. Anthony Trippi, Nick Don Francesco, two Ford Mustangs on pit road. They were running 1-2. We'll have to see exactly where they are when things cycle back out. Know that Dakota's already made his pit stop, so we're not too sure why he's all the way down to the apron like that. He's still trying to regain control of the car. We're only catching the tail end of this. Something definitely happened to the double zero. Yeah, you can see all the front end damage to that machine. Here's the race off of pit road. Just the exact same way that they entered the 22, just barely in front of the 98. Working the final stage here at Darlington Raceway. The very first playoff race here in the round of 16 for the 2019 NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series, hosted right here on NASCAR Heat 3. We're going to take a short break from commentary. Oh, maybe we're not. Contact was made. The 98 spun just in front of the 22, and we have a new race leader. They all got it back going again. Very little, if any, damage to the 98 machine. Patrick Hazlitt heading down pit road. Very different pit strategy from the rest of the field. Oh, problems for Dakota Bro in the double zero. He got loose, came down, bumped the inside wall. A couple of cars are gonna go by him here. to let you watch the race leader do his work. That's Nick Don Francesco in the number 98 machine. 3 wins this season, but he hasn't found victory lane in quite some time. Looking to find it today at Darlington Raceway. He's trying to hold off Anthony Trippi. We're going to come back to commentary here momentarily. You're watching the NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series playoffs here on MotorMaster Monday, hosted on NASCAR Heat 3. Thank you for joining us, and yeah, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with commentary again shortly. Back to commentary, and we've got big news. Jade Burr in the number 28 machine. There he is, number 28 Ford Mustang, wins here at Darlington Raceway, the very first playoff race for the 2019 MotorMaster Series season is in the history books. Jade Burr advances to the round of 12, clinches a spot. That's more valuable playoff points for Jade. What a win by Jade Burr. Gonna see if we can get an interview here with your Darlington race winner. He advances to the round of 12. Bet you he's really excited about it. We're gonna get his his reaction. Joining us now in the NOSSCAR commentary booth, your race winner, Jade Burr, driver of the number 28 Ford Mustang. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
One heck of a way to start the playoffs. You clinched your ticket in the round of 12. You did a fantastic job out there. It's Darlington. It's a one-groove track. It's kind of a wild card. It's a crazy way to start the
Mhm.
playoffs. How did you feel going into the race, and tell us about how your race went?
I was taking a more conservative approach for the races tonight. I knew I was only 1 point behind uh, uh, the 00 car, and I was like, you know what? Let's just run it conservative. Let's try not to do anything rash. And we came out and had the pole. I was like, all right. Well, that just went out the window. So then it was just we just had to be aggressive tonight, and just a big thanks to my guys for helping me at the end there with with drafting, so I could save enough fuel. So it was I didn't feel very confident, but obviously that's changed.
You came in second seed for playoff points, but after this race, you're going to be the number one seed. What do you think of your chances moving forward through the playoffs, and how prepared and confident are you for the upcoming tracks?
Um, I'm pretty prepared for Indy tonight. Where I'm hoping for a good run there. Um, that I'm not sure what the final track is before the cutoff or the cutoff race is, but we're just gonna take it 1 week at a time. Just keep trying to advance ourselves, you know. So
I mentioned during the broadcast that nobody's really dominated this season. The wins have been very evenly spread, and it's pretty fun that way because it seems like everybody's got a shot at the championship. Would you agree?
oh, I definitely agree. And it's gonna be a shootout. It's gonna be a shootout the whole way to Homestead. I know that if Keith Ayers gets to Homestead, it's gonna be a follow Keith kind of show. So we're gonna have to try to make something for Homestead if we get there. But you know, there's a few other guys that I'm kind of saying that are probably gonna make it there, and I kind of have my picks. So we'll see if I'm right or wrong.
Time will tell. Congratulations here getting the win at Darlington Raceway, and good luck to you at the Brickyard.
Thank you, sir.
That was Jade Burr capturing yet another win here in NOSCAR. Advancing to the round of 12, remember 16 drivers make the NOSCAR MotorMaster Series playoffs. Gonna see if we can get a word with your second place finisher. Joining us now in the NOSCAR commentary booth, driver of the number 22 Ford Mustang, Anthony Trippi. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Picking up a valuable playoff point there, a top three finish at Darlington Raceway. I was saying to Jade Burr a moment ago, it's a bit of a wild card way to start the playoffs. It's a one groove track, and anything can happen out there. What was your approach coming into this race, and tell us how your race unfolded from your perspective?
My approach was, I know I'm good at Darlington, so I was like, I mean, I'm fine with this track. I'm happy. I know a lot of people hate it, but I'm fine with it. So I was like, okay, let's get this setup in, and we'll pit adjustments and see how we do. And we did well. Came off stage one, finished fourth. Had a battle from a few things in that, a few bumps and everything like that, getting loose from those bumps and stuff off of two. Fixed the car for stage two, tightened it up a bit. Came into stage 2, finished second. Probably should have won the stage, but we messed up and hit the apron a little bit and had to save it. So we lost about a second on the leader then. And then the final stage, just lap traffic. Just screwed us, basically, is what I'm trying to say. And, I mean, a couple of incidents with them, and like 5, I'm pretty sure. And I feel like if that doesn't happen, we win that race easy, because we were on the pit strategy. We finished like 17 seconds behind them, but we lost about 17 seconds with all the incidents, with getting put on the wall, our cars hitting the apron, almost wrecking. Financially, like 4 cars just stopped in turn 2 for about a good second or two, and that's basically what lost us the race. But I'm happy for my teammate Jay Bull.
What do you think of your chances for the main event race coming up here in a matter of moments at the Brickyard?
Good. I mean, I love the Brickyard, I love flat tracks like Auto Club in Michigan, and I've always been good at Indy too, so we have a good shot to win.
Awesome. Well, best of luck to you, and congratulations capturing a valuable playoff point here at Darlington.
Thank you, so.
That was Anthony Trippi, driver of the 22, finishing second here, Darlington Raceway. That's going to just about do it here. Race 1 of the night here for MotorMaster Monday is in the history books. Darlington Raceway is complete. Jade Burr picks up the win and advances to the round of 12. Congratulations to him and his team, and congratulations to all 21 drivers who participated. Thank you to everybody who joined us on YouTube for race number 1 of the evening, and we'll see you soon here. I'd say the live broadcast is probably going to begin at about 9:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Brickyard 200 NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series style, right here on NASCAR Heat 3. We'll see you then, and until then, stay fast.